Welcome back. We're here to cover the karmic third party energy, and next week we will be covering it in two different ways. This week we're directly checking in with their individual energy. Next week it will be where their energy's at within the navigation of it, as well as if they directly are dealing with a third party energy, i.e., these being in a karmic relationship. This, as per se, this week is how they directly are experiencing it and what directly can be coming through for them. Now, yes, we do cover these weekly. Their energy this week has been quite unique in the way it's come through. And I have actually covered all of these individual sets for the masculine, feminine, and karmic from an individual perspective. And yes, at times there is some chime-ins of where the direct intimate connection is. Now, I do see these individuals this week actually feeling quite perplexed and experiencing it in a very unique way. Their crowning energy, and we'll get you a close-up view. It's almost like this stumbling point is feeling like the whole world's against them. And it can be because they're facing some element of adversity within their personal aura, within their personal power, and especially around tribe and family. We have this card in a reversal, and there is a feeling as if they are no longer spiritually resonating with a particular path, with a particular direction things are going. I'm very, very concerned, and it's almost like breaking the faith. The faith-based frequency as well as the 3D, they're not quite knowing what to do, and they do feel quite almost like they're in a state of victimhood where they're having to do everything but they don't want to do anything, and it's causing some distortion within the way that they directly are showing up in their life. It's always been that art of appreciation, this art of appreciation of where we are, where we've been, wanting to go back to where things used to be. And I'm noticing this card to the past position, and it is a garden. And a lot of times when I see this card, it is about, getting into the vortex of manifestation, but also getting into a grounded sense. And I feel this has been a long time coming for this individual. It's been a space in which they had been living in, almost like they have been in the 4D or a dream state, not necessarily in the reality of a situation. And although they can't see this in the context as a physical gift, because we do in humanity have the good, the bad, and the ugly, they're actually finding it to be too dense of an energy. And it can feel to them very disempowering. We see this individual sitting with their hand on their head, which to me, pulling in and really giving me a bird's eye view of this, there's always a significant location when you're channeling a message that you're going to be dragged into. And the first thing I'm noticing is almost like a death of the old and a rebirth. And we see this person with their hand on their head. We see a soul above them trying to show them the way, trying to show them that an old version of them is dying. And what they're wanting to do is go back to the past. They're wanting to go back to what felt familiar. Sometimes spiritually, we can call this a soul walking. This could be due to some circumstances. It might be due to a family, a mother, a parent, or directly their role in their life and conditioning. They really do want to go back to the past. I see this garden. I do physically see the shadow of the person sitting in the garden, almost like they've merged like a species that can kind of morph into the environment around them, like hiding and wanting to be part of that, but like it's not even a thing, like it's a delusion, it's a mirage, so to speak. It is where they feel most fondest. It's a place they like to dance in. There's some sorrow associated to this. And although they're not having faith in this process, they're feeling it's a curse over a gift. And many times when we have an adverse situation, or it can be and I don't like to go to this, but this is what they're showing me. It's either a spiritual metaphor of a death of a situation or a person. And it feels very stifling. It feels very heavy. This is going to aid them to liberate them. But at the moment, they're not seeing the context of this as such. They're seeing it as very dense. They're seeing it as very unappealing. And all they want to do is go back to the past where things were simpler, where things were neutral, where things, regardless of whether they knew right from wrong or reality from fiction, it felt a safe space to reside within. There is going to be a requirement for them to call upon their power, and it's going to be a time where they're going to have to step up into their own personal path. And it's almost like a hot wind is coming against them, and they're feeling blown back by the burden of the responsibility. Somebody has given them advice, and it's almost like they're oversold. Their guides, especially from the top row here, they've been calling them to do this. They've been trying to guide them through this process, and it has been a very painful process. And some of these fears they didn't want to confront, they're having to. It does feel extremely isolating. And yeah, it's almost like the wine in which life has served them the menu, served them the reality. The offerings that have been given to them, it's almost like they don't want to take it. It's like they're declining it. They're declining the notion that change is positive. They're afraid by it. It's almost like they're scrying into their future and all they see is negativity. It's like they're co-creating and manifesting it. They're very disillusioned by this. They're in firm belief, regardless of the advice that potentially individuals around them have given them, is that they're not honouring this advice. They know it in the back of their minds. They know what they need to do. Even their own soul is telling them what they need to do, but they're refusing to own it. They're refusing to do it. They're refusing to take it. And this inadvertently is causing more conflict. I do feel their back's really up against the wall here. I just keep hearing why. They do feel abandoned. They feel as though they're, many times when we feel abandoned, it's because we abandoned ourselves. And sometimes when we have a revelation of this, it almost feels like the one that gave us this bitter pill to swallow is the one we love the most. Because it wasn't out of being nasty, it was out of being truthful. And that person took that situation for granted, and it's a bitter pill to swallow. They know what they want, they know what they desire. They feel that universe is a limiting abundance. They feel universe is offering less and requiring more. And this is a painful week for them. This whole process through this third eye activation, looking to the future. The clarifier is the chakra of power, but it's also the chakra of overindulgence. And they're being warned that if they continue down this path, the very footing and the foundation is almost like it's slipping through their hands like the sands through an hourglass. They're saying within the power that they have, they can possess this stability. They can own this stability, but it is going to be on them. This is really forcing this person into a brand new routine and regime of really readjusting. They do feel they're doing this alone. They do feel that nobody really understands them. They can't believe where they've come to from here to there. And now they're being forced to address this. We're going to get a crowning energy. I feel it's a lot of things they're needing to address. It's an emotional situation. It's the energy of what is gone, what is not working. Yeah. And they're trying to get that power back. Their guides are saying, we're here to make you hungry so that you get the fighting spirit. It's like bringing that passion back. But they can't see, they're not seeing it that way. This person is really, really avoiding responsibility. And the power in which they hold, living in a very unsustainable manner. And they're saying if they continue along this path, the lesson will be learnt. But with great power comes great responsibility. It does feel like a burden. We will check in with this energy next week and check in with how the karmic cycle is going between them and another individual. Now, keep an eye on the content as it is changing between now and 2026, especially where it does come to our blogs and updates. We are itemizing them now, so stay tuned for those. And separately, if you do want to join our website, you can visit our Sage Inner Circle network page. It is open for the second round submissions, whereby I will give you the link to sign up to it soon. Otherwise, it will be open for the third round stage to the public. Those things can change. So by subscribing and following our website, we'll keep you in the loop. Take care, and I'll see you next week for the masculine, feminine, and karmic update.